Hello friends, we're back tonight with another WoW stream. We did a bunch of beta stuff over the last couple of days, only last night was on stream of course. But tonight we've got some weekly stuff that I don't want to fall too behind on in retail. So we're going to be getting our keys done, at least one key on a bunch of different tanks. Hey everyone. We're starting tonight with the warrior. We're trying to do 8s for the most part. I don't think my druid is quite up to that yet. So we'll be a little bit lower on the druid. Probably just going to run whatever keys my characters have. So let's get started here. I hope everyone has had a good weekend. And I hope nobody is dreading Monday too much. With the reset coming on Tuesday, we got to make sure that we're taking care of our characters here, so that we can have a good leveling experience. These guys should be fine once the War Within rolls around, because it is coming up pretty fast. Let's see, I should probably check if there's... yeah, our guildies are all AFK right now. Paladins are good. Gets us our B-res too. I'm way off. Wow. I was like, this doesn't look like Nelthris over here. Anyway, hope you all are doing well tonight. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out. I think the plan tonight is to take care of our weekly stuff on retail. Make sure that at least Warrior, DK, Monk, and Druid all have a key done. My Demon Hunter doesn't really need anything else for the season. I think if that's where we end up going, it'll be just a little bit of crest farming in a few weeks to max out that gear. But the rest of my tanks could use a few pieces at least. So we're gonna work toward filling out our vaults. I mean, at least getting one slot, right? At least get the one slot so that we can see the rocks right here. At least get the one slot so that we can work toward a socket if we don't get something good. My warrior's not really in a bad spot. I've got like at least hero or myth track in most of the important slots. Could use a few items. Yeah, I definitely won't complain about getting more myth track stuff in our vaults. Hey, what's up, Adrian? Doing the same as me, finishing the week with keys? Yep. Done a lot of beta stuff. I definitely have more testing to do, you know, as we work toward making more videos for the different tanks. But I do want to make sure that my characters at least have vaults to open on Tuesday. My monk has a raid vault, but I'd like to at least get a +8 done on most of my tanks here. I just roll bear because it's easy and you shuffle defenses. Prot ward becomes the most squishy tank if you ain't got the shield block up for a second. Organ or pain. Bear, those just kind of take. Yeah, Bear's got a really good baseline, especially on live right now. And like Bark Scan is such a short cooldown, and you can roll so many seconds of Iron Fur that like it feels like you're pretty safe most of the time. Guardian move is good. Interesting stuff about the trees. The lack of no connections has always annoyed me. Yeah, I feel like. Yeah, I mean, I stick by what I said. Like, the class tree is definitely improved from Dragonflight. I don't want to think. It's nice to have an easy tank to play sometimes, for sure. Yeah, the class tree is definitely improved from Dragonflight. But man, do we have health stones? We do not have health stones yet. I feel like it's just, it's got still a ton of room for improvement. Tree still suck, but it's easy and fun. You know, that's the thing, like, there's a lot to complain about in the trees, but the end result is still, like, it feels pretty good. And I think if they put some improvements into the talent trees, like, Guardian could be amazing. So, we'll see if they actually do anything with it. I'm not optimistic the closer we get to launch with no changes, but if it went live as it is with the current way that the arcane spec feels to play, like, you know, I'd be okay playing it. I'd be pretty happy playing it. Still tweaking trees at this stage. They're doing tuning. They said they're gonna tweak some shaman stuff, but I mean, shamans have like literally had no changes yet, so. Let's see, it's okay, it's fortified this week, so I want to be a little bit careful here. Let's go ahead and pop shield wall. I want to get this guy over here. Oh dear.
Shockwave.
I'm gonna flop everything to get over these chains.
Shockwave. Watch your step.
Okay.
Interact. Watch your step. Shockwave. Shockwave.
Supposed to come Tuesday, we'll see.
Watch
Probably a few things moved around and 1 or 2 things buffed. Wouldn't surprise me. Life keys? Yeah, Frank, we're doing life keys.
Watch your step.
I mean, most of my characters have no vaults right now, and I do still need gear on them for leveling more within. I mean, need is a strong word, right? Like, they're all in a fine position, but I want to make leveling easy, and I want to have gear that'll, like, at least last me into normal dungeons at max level. At least on whatever character I end up maining. I feel like 500 elbow is kind of the minimum you want. Yeah, I think, and most of the, like, the 3 that are like my main contenders right now are all at that spot. But I'd like to be able to get my main up to 520. I think Ford is far more difficult than Tyrannical. I think it depends on the key level. Because, like, people who push really high keys are always complaining about Tyrannical, and I think boss scaling does get pretty bad eventually. Especially since the Boolean system lets you get best stuff. Yeah, but then, like, also every key you do is, like, one that you don't have to do for crests later. So, you know, just, I feel like just plugging away a little bit, chipping away, at least getting a vault every week, like, it's gonna pay off in the long run.
Shockwave.
And I've definitely done a lot of beta stuff this week, so
Shockwave.
let's see. We got shield wall up. I'm gonna pop it because this is a little bit of a big pull.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Get some last stand action. Been leveling profs and Kata and doing more mob stuff. I have been slacking in the mob stuff. I should put in some work there to at least get some of the cosmetic stuff that I want.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
It is nice after doing beta keys for a few days to come back to a retail character that, like, actually has some good gear. Actually has, like, in-game secondary stats. Did an 8 Fortified Academy on my bear with 510. Felt like I could do 10. It was chill. Yeah, like 510 is definitely good. I think 8s are super chill this season too. I really love the way that, at least like the scaling that everything's at right now.
Watch way.
Wildcard, I've been thinking about Brewmaster. I've never main Monk for a tier. Honestly, I think it's in a great spot right now. Alright, let's get this guy through some chains. Please. There we go. There's one. Oh, don't. Okay, we did 2. Dots off. Let's do the 3rd. And let's go ham. Yeah, Brew feels great, and it's got an interesting tier set bonus in a season where like everyone else has a garbage tier set bonus. So I don't know, that does tip a little bit for me. Not that tier's the end all be all, but like having something exciting to look forward to on that is always kind of fun. Issue there is the idea of Windwalker nauseates me. Hey, I haven't tried it, so this is like, you know, word of mouth, but I have heard that Windwalker feels a lot better on the beta right now. What are these affixes? It is Volcanic and Spiteful. So actually a really good week to do keys. Alright, hopefully one of these guys does chains. None of them did chains on the first set in there.
Watch your step.
Bear isn't too bad. I really think Guardian's in a good spot right now. It's just not the best. And in a meta where like the tank is the thing that's making the meta tanks is their ability to just like lock down big pulls. Bear is not that. Free tank week. Oh, you're more referring to your set about Bear. It's okay. I think Warrior actually has one of the worst. Because it's like the whole tier set bonus for Warriors is kind of like blocked behind shield block crits. And there's no chance you're going to be stacking crit in Season 1. But then it's also like a 3% bonus, so like if you don't have high uptime on it, who cares? I'm okay not being the best. Tends to like care about beyond that, just people want to push for fun. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Ooh, someone did the chain. Nice. I kind of feel the same way. Like, I usually get my portals, and then if I'm really feeling motivated or having a lot of fun, I'll push a little bit higher than that. But like on the old system, I never really pushed higher than 22s. I didn't even get all the 10s done. Or I think I may have gotten all the 10s done on my Demon Hunter by now. But this season just felt like super unmotivating, and then beta came out. I've been playing that a lot, which has been really fun. Is this live? Yeah, this is live. Gotta get our weekly stuff done. My warrior has no vault right now, so my DK and druid and monk. Actually, my monk has a raid vault, but no keys. So finding the time to get those done. I was saying earlier, it does feel good to play a character that actually has some gear. Because the scaling on beta just like it just feels so bad after a while. I make macros that explain each boss for War Within so my dungeons will go smoothly. That is a really good idea. I should probably pay a little more attention to my health here. That is a really good idea.
Watch your step.
I'm thinking about making videos for the dungeons, but I definitely haven't tested them enough to feel comfortable doing that yet.
Watch your step.
But it might be nice to have those as a resource, just like here's like an overview of what each boss does, here's some dangerous trash packs to watch out for, here's a route you can use to get a good percentage.
Watch your step.
That's gonna take some work though. Loving a warrior on ally side? Nice. I thought you were watching an old video. No, no, no. We're just doing live stuff.
Watch your step.
This is a live stream. I'm here. Hello. Actually, it really works surprisingly well. Yeah, I really like that idea. I might have to copy that. I end up doing a lot of keys with my guild early in the season, but I'm sure there will be times where like either we have pugs or we have people who just like didn't play beta and don't know the dungeons yet. It's a good idea. We can use the L2, yeah. Well, there's an endorsement from the guild on that.
Charging.
Hmm.
Interrupt.
I'll put each ability's name, and then when it does, that way they can reference it. That's nice. It is nice that you can link to stuff in the dungeon journal too. I find that really helpful when I'm raid leading and I'm like, hey guys, this is the ability that we're messing up on. Just read it real quick. That's what we need to do for it. You're in raid on Tuesday, some of us need more. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Let's not pull this guy on Fortified Week. I have to pull a lot more at the end to make up for that, but he just takes, that guy takes so long on Fortified Week. It clutters the ground up so much, it's just annoying.
Shockwave.
I feel like you should chat on the YouTube stream. Oh, you can chat wherever you want, Franken. I'm reading it out. Yeah, there's more people chiming in on YouTube than on Twitch right now, for sure. You guys watch on your preferred platform. I'm just happy that I can stream on both.
Shockwave.
Leave this open and jump there. Right on.
Shockwave.
You gotta give those channel points so you can redeem dad jokes in the middle of polls.
Shockwave. Interrupt.
Oh, I did not give these guys a shout. I guess a couple of them did die. So make sure we keep our group buffed.
Watch your step.
And every time I play warrior, I like it more. This class is so good.
Watch your step. Charging. Watch your step.
Miss Warbringer. That was a sweet talent. I feel like Shield Charge kind of fills the same niche though, and is on a separate button, so got an AoE knockdown. Yeah, I remember that talent. Remember it fondly. Although if I had to choose one to keep between that and double time, I'm happy we have double time. Intervening in melee after the initial charge fell off, then Shockwave's done, was super slept on. That's true. You can do some sick things with Intervene. I don't even know if I'm playing it right now. I'm not playing it right now. I have Rallying Cry instead. Because you know Rallying Cry is so strong. That's what I always teasing 1G. Wait for the res on this guy. There isn't a need to play now, it doesn't do any good stuff anymore. I mean, it still intercepts a melee ability. There was an interaction on beta where you could intervene and then spell reflect and reflect an incoming spell, but they nerfed that real quick. That would have been pretty amazing. Boss time. We dope. Yeah.
AOE incoming.
Maybe a little too powerful. But I don't know. In a world where, like... Okay. I'm gonna say something positive about Prot Paladin. In a world where Prot Paladin has things like
Special
Blessing of Spell
coming.
Warding, and can
Watch your step.
just like bot people, Blessing of Sacrifice, Lay on Hands, like doing an intervene to spell reflect one ability doesn't seem that overtuned.
Special coming. Watch your step.
Just wanted to avoid the damage cheese. I mean, you can still cheese it whenever stuff is targeting the tank, and stuff that targets the tank usually hits harder than stuff that targets other people, so... Fun detected. Indeed. It's like applying that to someone else. I don't know.
Special coming.
It would be nice if Warrior could have that.
Watch your step.
I hate letting Avatar sit on cooldown, but like this boss is almost dead. Alright, I'm gonna leap. Could have just taken the gateway and then left to get further ahead, but oh well. Frankie, do you have any characters unique keys on tonight? I checked in guild before I queued mine, but there were like 2 people online, they're both AFK, so...
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Not super into the ADDBH. Fair enough. Log in, think it's super unmotivated. Yeah. I think I've been pacing what I've been doing on retail a lot, which I think has helped with that. Like ever since Mop and Kata came out. Even though I haven't been playing either of those really consistently for a while. But yeah, after doing... Oh, we gotta go do the Mammoth. I guess we just go across this way. That's right, I did the hard bots first. Yeah, after doing beta keys with gear scaled down to like dungeon, like heroic dungeon item level, it does feel pretty good to log on to retail and play a character that's got some pop.
Interrupt.
This is elemental attacking. And who is not attacking the Thaumaturge? We'll jump on a Serve Hunter key. There we go.
Watch your step.
I feel like I want to pick my main sooner than later.
Watch your
Like
step.
the longer I'm pushing off the aspect crest grind, the more annoying it's gonna be. But I don't want to do the grind on like 3 different characters, so I want to like make sure I know what I'm going to main first.
Interrupt. Watch your step.
Let me ask you this, chat. Without committing to whatever you guys answer,
Interrupt.
what would you be most interested in seeing me main in Season 1? Given, like, just the state that things are in right now. I know there's going to be more tuning to be done. Hopefully Paladin gets some big buffs. Paladin is off the table, I will say that. We have too many Paladins, and Prot Paladin doesn't interest me enough to make that choice. Shadow Priest? Okay. Let me rephrase. Which tank do you want to see me main? Elemental Shaman. 2 classes that are the opposite of a tank. VDH?
Shockwave.
So I don't have to. I'm glad I said I wasn't going to commit to this.
Charging. Move.
I will say about VDH, like doing a couple of keys on it last night, it still feels fine. And like, we were talking about this, but like its ability to lock down mobs is still a strength relative to most of the other tanks. Probably means we still need monk buff. Yeah, we might. We might need a monk buff. I feel like need is a strong word for just heroic rating, but it's nice to have, and I know our parsers appreciate it.
Charging. Move. Shockwave.
Glad to catch me on live. I really enjoyed my War Within videos so far. Have a good blend of organized information content, but your personality shines through and allows you to express yourself in the moment. Keep it up. Well, thank you for the kind words, Melnar. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you've enjoyed the videos. I'm just trying my best. I've got a lot of experience tanking stuff to draw on, and glad people are finding it helpful and informative. I'm certainly not claiming to be the best tank or anything, but I'm glad you've enjoyed the content. Right now, 4 out of 12 of our raiders that have signed up are paladins. Yep. Yep.
Shockwave.
The good news is there are 4 auras, so we can have every aura. Oh, let's be real. All of those rets are going to be running Retribution aura all the time. And then we'll just have to make our Holy Paladin run Devo aura. Looks like the 2 raid buffs are missing, our Monk and DH. Yeah. I don't know, we can probably convince one of our DPS that haven't signed up to play DH. The question is, like, how long are they actually going to stick around once the season starts?
Shockwave.
This is probably not the best idea to double pull, but YOLO.
Pushback.
I have cooldowns.
Shockwave.
Haven't even had to push last stand yet. Let's go ahead and use it before we're dying.
In shockwave. Shockwave. Pushback incoming.
The best players in Journal usually aren't as good at translating useful knowledge to people because it's understandably hard for them to put themselves in the shoes of someone who isn't only participating in the highest comms all the time. That's a really good point. Like, there's a level when you're elite at something where you're
Shockwave.
just inherently a little bit out of touch. Alright, we gotta do a little bit more trash. I think... Do I take bolster? I do because I think it's really high value. Like, it was good when you were choosing it with the old talents. Like, how is it not good when you have 30 talent points to spend? You know?
Interrupt. Shockwave.
Oh, we're gonna be one count short here. That's annoying. Boss next. You just have to race change a monk before you want to play it. What is your monk right now? Is it Blood Elf? Old Ganymede.
Watch your step.
Yeah, Blood Elf.
Shockwave.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Blood Elf's okay. It does feel nice when you can actually do like AoE purge stuff. Frank Kegberry. That's a good name. That's a good one. Make it a dwarf. Frank Kegberry. Make sure we pick up our gold here.
Watch your step. Shockwave.
I like that they made this boss only need like 2 hits from the things instead of like all 5. Alright, we need one more mob. Should have pulled one more bird somewhere along the way, I guess. Let's see. Guess we just kill this guy.
Shockwave.
Gonna time it pretty easily though. 74 points. Let's go. Whatever tank I end up mating depends a lot on the class's DPS options. To have DPS and raid. That is also a really big point to consider. It factors in for me to a degree. Even though I end up tanking most of the time, I want to be able to play the other specs and enjoy them. Yeah, no Forge Storm. I have at least a 522 weapon. I don't know. I don't think I have any bullions right now. I think I could get a couple more if I actually did some raid stuff. Let's see, are we getting a portal to Valdrakken? Always check your portals, especially if I'm your mage. No Golak yet. The first thing I bought was the Fearlath upgrade, and then I bought both of the Farak trinkets, because eye level. And then I bought both of the rings. So like I'm decked out on that side of things. Speaking of Fearlath, I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade it again. just feels satisfying to upgrade that axe, even though I'm not using it while I'm tanking, of course. Yeah, Golak will probably be the next purchase. I do need a shield too. I still only have a champion track shield. I think once I'm done with Mop, I may revisit the Mage Tower. That's a solid option. Good content there. Oh, you haven't done any of them. Yeah, I think this is a good point to do it too, because you have lots of options of nice pieces of gear to pick from. Alright, let's see. We'll do Monk next. I still need to do one of the healer challenges in there. That's the only thing I need to do for the book mount. And I really want to have that. It's such a cool mount. The only healer one I did in Legion was Resto Druid. And I remember like getting ready, like I felt like I was sitting down, like this might be a long session because I'd heard the healer one was like insanely hard. And then I one-shot it. I had watched a lot of videos on it, so I kind of knew like what the pitfalls were. And there was a lot of cheese that you could do with it because it was... I think you could use a lot of the like outdoor roll buffs from Legion, which you can't anymore, so... Are you wanna do a Hunter Key or are you doing other stuff for a little bit? I think, what do I have? Enough for 7. That is unfortunate. I guess I didn't time the 8 I did in my monk last week. Swapping, cool. Monk is in a pretty good spot. Kind of a similar position to where Warrior is. I have my Jarun instead of Fear Lath, and then I got both Phyrrach Trinkets and both Fire Damage Rings. I think... No, I don't have any bullions. What did I buy with them this week? Oh, I bought the necklace. The Arboreal necklace. Let's see, is any of this rig gear actually worth it that I got the other day? I don't think so. Ah, doing a paladin key? Alright. Ah, we both only have 7s. That's unfortunate. See if we can find someone else's 8. True. Your 8 Brackenhide? I'm not going to be picky. Oh, we got in. Nice. Head on down to Brackenhide. I think... Ah, I do not have that portal on my monk. I thought I did. We can fly. I think I do have my 4 set on the monk. I need gloves though. Still wearing item level 480 gloves. I don't think survivability will be a problem though. Famous last words and all. We'll just track this to make sure we're going in the right direction. Yeah, Master Spell is nice in this place. As is Mind Smooth. I don't remember if I repaired after raid, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. I did. Look at me being prepared. Let's see, is everybody else here? No. This guy's... okay. Gotta remember what the heck I'm doing. Haven't played Ret in a little bit. I'm sure you'll do just fine. Make sure I do have my Dispel for this. I don't really ever untalent it on my monk, but doesn't hurt to double check. Yeah, we're good here. I am very excited to be doing live keys with the updated monk trees. Just getting rid of just a few of these buttons is going to be very, very nice. Where are my real potions?
Five, four, three, two, one.
You know, I do keep my warrior, and I say how much I like warrior, but I'm probably gonna have the same feeling on my monk here.
Watch your step. Run.
Living a little dangerously, but we got this.
Interrupt. Watch your step.
Look at that, we didn't even pull the pat behind us.
Run.
for Rock Trinket for this bowl, which is nice because this bowl is a little iffy sometimes.
Run. Interrupt. Watch your step.
I want to get into the next bowl here so I can get my tiger statue down.
Run.
Let's just cat a little bit.
Watch your step.
Definitely feel the trash damage on Brew more than on Warrior. Sometimes I feel like Stagger is like block that you just take the damage as a dot instead. It's like you block every attack, but then it just adds up and you do eventually run out of Purifying Brew. Open this bowl with Fort Brew.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Interrupt.
DH was ripping aggro on some of the smaller mobs. I don't know how he was ripping aggro and you and the Evoker were not. No, that was not good. Kite, kite, kite.
Interrupt. Run. Interrupt.
Warrior definitely feels more chill than Monk. Monk kind of feels like you're always like a couple of bad GCDs away from death. But that's kind of always been that way, so. Let's see. Oh, I do have a flavored bucket, so I don't need to stop and heal up. Let's see, I'll devoke her real quick.
Attack totem. Help soak.
Kill totem.
Interrupt.
Gotta get topped off. Alright, we good. I gotta remember to use Jarun a little more consistently here too. Let's pull in a little bit more here. Maybe unwise, but we got some stuff we can pop.
Breath incoming.
Oh, we're getting even more. Okay. Feels bad that I had a kite with
Watch your
exploding keg up there. But it's better to kite with a cooldown up than to die. 100% of the time. Oh, we got a little friend here. Make sure I got aggro on him. Hey Grant, how's it going? Watch my bear vid. What'd you think of it?
Watch your step. Breath incoming.
Oh, don't mind me, I'm just dying here.
Watch your step.
Basically main bear through all Dragonflight that you were able to play. So most of season 1, season 2, then more casual in season 3. So you got to play it at its best, at least like gameplay wise. I'd say I agree with almost everything.
Watch your step.
Glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear from someone who's like got a lot of experience on the spec that I was pretty accurate to your experiences. The thing that like always trips me up about Bear is that like at the end of the day there's so many things that feel bad and yet it still feels good to play. And that feels hard to kind of square that with all the context around it, you know? Season 1 was tough. Yeah, I played a decent amount of Bear in Season 1. It was rough. I remember trying to tank Heroic Broodmother on my Bear with a little bit lower eye level than I probably should have had, and I just got crushed as soon as the Mortal Strike went out. Temple of the Jade Servants recommended into a car accident. Yeah, that was... I mean, that dungeon was tough on every tank, but Bear just felt like you were just getting punished no matter what the whole time. So the gameplay is nice, but the underhood of the spec is... yeah, I agree with you on that. It's like... this shouldn't work out as well as it does. And then like when you apply too much pressure to it, it kind of all falls apart. Oh no, we got some friends in here. I don't know how we're gonna survive this one. Guess we have weapons of order. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Curious about some of my thoughts into hero talents, since that is all that's changing going forward. Yeah, the Arcane Bear, I think feels really good. Elune's Chosen. I think it works. It makes Lunar Beam... so like Lunar Beam is like not even playable right now, right? But with all the stuff in Elune's Chosen, it's not only playable, it's really good. And which way am I going here? This way. And when you drop it, it's like, I don't know what the equivalent is. It feels like you have Incarn up. Like that's how strong you feel when you drop Lunar Beam while it's up.
Watch your step.
So I think that feels good, and it does a ton of damage on its own too. And it makes Moonfire deal like absurd levels of damage. Like I was doing keys where Moonfire was like 30% of my overall damage. Just wild stuff. Druid of the Claw, I agree it's missing a few things. One, something you do in cat form that's any value in AoE. Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen, so I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. What I would love to see is they make Rip just a baseline ability, not even on the talent tree, just every druid always has Rip. And then put, oh, what's it called? The AoE Rip. Primal Wrath. Put that somewhere on the class tree. I don't know. The class tree is kind of a mess, so maybe you don't want to have a point that you want to spend there. Or maybe you bake them into, like, maybe one talent gives you both or something like that. Primal Wrath needs to be grabbable. Yeah. Because, like, it feels like Druid of the Claw does feel really good in single target, but then, yeah, it falls off in AoE because you don't have any AoE spender outside of being actual feral spect.
Watch your step.
I did play it in a key, and it did feel fun, and I mean,
Breath incoming.
there's usually going to be a mob that you can get full value out of that Rip on. You may have to like hold it for the next pack if everything's about to die. But it didn't feel nearly as squishy as I thought shifting to cat form. I think if you're intentional about like dumping all your rage into Iron Fur and maybe popping a Frenzied Region before you make the switch, like it feels okay.
Watch your step.
Let's see, somebody in cat form is any value. More deterministic ways of proccing Ravage. I think it give you consume feeling potential could be cool. Yeah, like that. My biggest complaint is definitely with Ravage just being a proc. I think it does help that you get it a lot more often when you're in Incarn. The tension there is like you don't have a lot of free GCDs inside of Incarn, right? Because you basically ideally want to just go thrash maul, thrash maul, thrash maul. And so if you're getting a ton of Ravage procs off of that, you start to feel kind of GCD starved. The physical build of Dragonflight is better in AoE and weaker in single target.
Defensive.
So Druid of the Claw. Getting more single target focus does shore up that weakness. Yeah, that's a good point. Elune kind of does the opposite for the mirrored issue on the Arcane side. They should have left it called Massive Attack. I mean, you kind of had to know like that name was going to change, but it would be really funny if it was just Massive Attack.
Run.
Yeah, I do think if they end up kind of designing it so that you want to play Druid of the Claw and Raid and Arcane Bear, I can't not call it Arcane Bear. I know it's Elune's Chosen, but like,
Run.
it's Arcane Bear. And want to play that in Keys, like, I'm okay with that distinction. Agree about the GCD starvation in Incarn. I almost go as far as to say that if they made the GCD Incarn a little worse, every third global free rather than just always have to thrash and mangle. Yeah.
Run.
It did feel fun when it was just like full on thrash spam. You just like turn your brain off and do insane damage and self-healing with Urza's Fury back in Shadowlands. But it is nice, like, it's nice to have buttons that you want to press. Like, that's just a good thing as a tank, right? Ideally, both should be viable in all forms of content, even if one is optimal. Oh, absolutely. Like, that should definitely be the design goal. I'm just saying, as long as both are good, in some context, like, I feel like that's... I don't know. Maybe this is just, like, long-term Guardian feels, but I feel like as long as both are viable in some context, I'm happy with that. Also predicting Lune Chosen will be better at both. I think it might be. I want to wait for the Hawks. The Arcane build was so insanely out in front of single target, only a little behind AoE, and Elune seems to give it more power. Yeah. It would be nice to have some flexibility, though. For sure. Wait, did our priest just fall off? Oh no. Our healer fell off. Wait.
Knocking back.
Let's reset. Let's reset. If you can reset. Trying to reset.
Spread.
I don't know if it'll let me reset.
Knocking back.
Might be. I looked at the mini map and I saw a down arrow on the priest and I thought he had fallen off. Looks like we have the shortcut. Looks like a couple people survived, so. So also curious about the build. You went for Arcane Bear. You went 2 points into Sunlight Moonlight for the Moonfire DR. Seems to me that 1 point and Renataire is flatly better. Yeah, I was kind of messing around with like some different options there. Oh, this might be bad if we don't have, there we go. Made it up. It's probably better for one at this point. I think you're right. If I end up maining bear, I'm going to do a lot more messing around with like different variations in the talent tree. Alright, here we go.
Spread. Knocking back.
I think Moonless Night might be really good as well. I'll have to take a look at the tree because I don't remember the names of some of them and like what the differences are off the top of my head.
Spread.
20% more damage on Maul,
Knocking back.
on Mangle and Maul / Raise. Yeah, I mean those end up being less of your damage, but that's still a huge portion. Could be pretty bonkers for sure. Let's boop these guys into the trap. Or not.
Knocking back. Interrupt.
Moonlight gives 20% more damage on physical abilities when put into Moonfire enemies. Okay, yeah, that talent is good. It's tough because, like, you can't take every talent that you would want to take. I get that, like, it's okay to have choice in the talent trees and maybe you can't always get everything you want. But when you have a hero tree telling you, like, hey, you should get a bunch of stuff that buffs Thrash, and hey, you should get everything that buffs your arcane damage, and then, like, you can't even get close to all of that. I don't know, it's just, it feels a little bit bad.
Interrupt.
Assuming that won't apply to Thrash anymore, just Mangle and Razor left over. Yeah. Your point of moving, there being so many good talents in the capstone, so you can't take everything. Yeah, like, so I did a count because I felt like maybe I'm just feeling a little, maybe I'm just like going crazy here. There are 18 talent points that you can spend in Guardian's capstone area. Death Knight, which just got its tree redesigned and like giga buffed, and its tree feels awesome, has 13. Keep in mind, both specs get the same amount of total points that they're able to spend.
Run.
You just get to choose, like, what is it, like 11 out of 13 or 10 out of 13 on DK and 10 out of 18 on Bear. Like, it just feels bad. I think Paladin also has 18 total. So, but then Paladin is like not the tank you want to be compared to on the beta right now. So, I don't know, maybe they'll fix it. Come on, jump, jump, jump. Jumpy jump. There is still time to fix it. I'm just, oh, make it through, boys. Make it through. Nope, okay. We can kill this pole. This pole's not too bad.
Run.
The main question on Moonless Night is about arcane damage scaling. You can get from 30 to 39% increase in arcane damage from the talents in the hero trees. Yeah, it's wild how much you can get. Curious how much of that might apply to Moonless Night. Yeah, that's a good question. Something that would be important to know.
Watch your step.
Does make the 20% extra damage now 26 to 28%. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Attack totem.
I don't know, I haven't done the math. I don't know if they scale additively or multiplicatively. I think most stuff in WoW is generally multiplicative, so.
Defensive. totem.
We gotta kill this Rot Hexer immediately. So many pugs try to skip this and it just gets pulled every single time.
Defensive. Attack totem. Defensive.
Oh, we're gonna have another totem. That was... okay, good, that thing went away.
Watch your
Part of the tension... sorry, I gotta focus here so I don't die for a minute.
attack totem.
Oh, we did it. I think part of the tension, and honestly why it might make sense for why Bear has the most points in that, so they, more than almost any other tank, have 2 distinct thematic playstyles in their tree, and almost all of that distinction is worked out in the capstone. Solution could possibly be to upload some of that to those playstyle defining abilities in the mid rows. Oh sweet, we got gloves. That's a huge upgrade. I think that, yeah, like, I just want them to change something and make it feel a little bit less bad compared to where the other tanks are, you know? I'm okay with 2 playstyles. I think, like, the Chosen of Elune thing with the talent that makes Thrash to arcane damage just kind of highlights that there are some times where you want to invest in both of them, and the current design of that hero talent and the talent tree means that you just can't. So, I mean, Thrash still is a great ability. Like, it still does a lot as a baseline. But it just feels bad to see how good it is and then see it, like, get some synergy, but then you can't take any of the talents that interact with it and buff it. At least not without gimping yourself in some other way. Like, you could... if you wanted to, I guess you could drop Incarn and Rage of the Sleeper, but that's not it, man. That is not it. Going beyond that, I think because there are more than one playstyle that are very distinctive, with overlap, of course, it makes the large number of 2-pointers in the spec tree feel really bad. Bear has more 2-pointers than the tank right now. Yes, it's got like 6, I think. And it's got like multiple points where you have to go through a 2-pointer to continue progressing down the tree. And then it's still got a ton on the spec tree too, so... oh no, we're not using that set right now. In particular, the role of all 2-pointers makes the first gate mean you can only take 2 of those 2-pointers. Yeah. It's like... I think there's some value in having 2-pointers, especially if they're good 2-pointers, but the trees where they're implemented effectively have 1-point options to get around those 2-point nodes, and Druid just feels like there's a few spots where you're just hard gated into taking 2-point talents, and that's just not the best design, in my opinion. I think if they took a look at the Guardian tree and like wanted to make changes, that would probably be one of the first things they changed, would be getting rid of a lot of those 2-point nodes. It's also a big part of what makes the spec tree feel so bloated, so it has so many of those. Speaking of Druid, let's go do a Druid key. First gate in the budget and 2-pointers means that points like Earth Warden or the Ironfern talents are basically the OA. Yeah, and that stinks because like those have really strong baseline defensive value. Could possibly be fixed by pathing changes, but I think the 2-point 2 pointers basically give you no flexibility in your pathing. Yeah. Like, Earth Warden gives you so much damage reduction in all content. We just look at it on live here because it's pretty much all the same, right? But yeah, like, how could you take Earth Warden when you're trying to play a reasonable talent build? Just all of these being 2 pointers. Far point, yeah, because like you have to go down this side of the tree in pretty much every build. Yeah, I can't imagine playing without Tooth and Claw or without After the Wildfire, at least on live right now. And they just give you so much value, like 30% cooldown reduction on Bark Skin. It makes Bark Skin a 30-second cooldown. It's so good. And then this blocking Tooth and Claw and also opening up Vicious Cycle and Soul of the Forest, like, feels bad. Alright, Druid is going to be a lower keystone because my gear on my Druid is much lower. I think I have another option. What did I get? Oh, maybe not. But we will at least get a vault. I have a Nelthurus +2, so we'll do that. And Druid will just collect some hero track items. Even not counting the pathing choices, the right side of the right side node is required lock-in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they would really... Like, they should just make them 1-pointers. They should. It would make the rest of the tree feel so much better. And then, like, I don't know, maybe just make them all 1-pointers. Because there's so many different talent nodes. Like, this just looks bloated compared to most of the other trees. So, we can dream. We can dream. Alright, this is a +2, so I'm going to take pretty much anyone who applies. To be honest, I kind of get... the way all the real choices are at the bottom. The first gate is so locked that you have no room to move in the middle section. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. No, when I landed. Oh, didn't mean to go in yet. To be honest, yeah, like, even if they turn all those 2-pointers into 2 1-point nodes, you can still choose to take, it'd be nice. Yeah, it would open up so much in the tree, you know? It would make it feel like you have choices in a tree that feels like you're very locked in and can't even get, like, everything that you feel like you need to play effectively. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this guy. Should be plenty for this key. Half the reason I'm considering not maining Berrigan is because I'm lightly dooming the Druid feels kind of ignored in the alpha beta. It feels like it hasn't gotten as much attention as I would like to have seen, for sure. Looked like 1 week of changes and 1 week of alpha, then 2 months later in beta they fixed a few things in the class tree. Yeah, it feels like it's got some glaring issues that still haven't been addressed. I guess to that I can just say, at least it's not Shaman. Sorry, Shamans. You guys have had to endure. All right. Shamans are getting stuff on Tuesday. They are, but like they didn't even get told they were getting anything for the first like 3 months of alpha and beta. They're paying us paid off, maybe. I want to give credit where credit is due. Every time Blizzard has reworked one of the new talent trees, the initial implementations were all kind of rough for the most part. But every time they've reworked one, except for Guardian, the result has been awesome. And even though the Guardian tree was put into a state that's like, I mean, we've been talking about the problems that it has for half an hour, right? It was still good for a season until it got nerfed. Let's see, did I? Oh, I need to go. Okay. I need to go catalyze these, but we'll just do that after the key. Let's see. I need to use another rune. If I have one. Where? Am I just out of runes? I think I'm out of runes. I need to remind myself to buy runes and flasks after this key. First main classic was LA Shaman. I was 9 and a Feral Druid tank. My heart can't take it. That's a rough spot to be in. Alpha is like a bad Hellraiser sequel. So much potential promise and Blizz is stomping on my little heart. Well, I'll pour one out for you.
2, 1.
Yeah, if you're a shaman and druid enjoyer, this has been not the most thrilling alpha and beta cycle for sure. We're gonna take these guys over to the chains over here.
Watch your step.
I will say one of the things I like about Druid is like being simpler. It makes it a lot easier to play the spec at a decent level and talk to chat. So that's kind of chill. That's a good point in his favor.
Watch your step.
Like Monk, I feel like you get into sticky situations often enough that it's hard to really focus on anything but the pulls you're doing.
Interrupt.
That's not gonna happen if they announce the LA rework and enhanced tank option. I'm gonna go Warborn mode and be honest. Dude, enhanced tank would be so
Watch
cool.
your step.
I wish they would make bold decisions like that in retail. I feel like they're kind of gun shy because, like, there was a lot of complaining when they turned Survival Hunter into a melee spec all those years ago. And I know like it's been good since then, and it's had a lot of praise, but I think a lot of hunters were very, very unhappy, and that's kind of made them shy about doing changes. But if they did something like brought in the Warlock tank that they have in Season of Discovery and allowed enhancement shamans to tank too, that would be sick.
Watch your step.
The enhanced tank on Esodine is very popular.
Shockwave.
Yeah, I mean, shaman tanking in Classic has always kind of been a thing.
Watch your step.
I played a Warlock tank in SOD for a while, and that was super fun. Like, that's some of the most fun I've ever had in this game, was doing that.
Shockwave.
Wondering how much of that SOD stuff will look into retail. I feel like the hero talents were such a good opportunity for them to try that too, so I'm a little disappointed that they didn't do some things a little bolder.
Interrupt.
I'm not surprised, but it was what it wasn't. Enhancing an OG Classic was turbo. The content was just so easy to get away with it. That's probably the better take on it. To be fair, I was Alliance in Classic, both in 2004 and in 2019. The gap between them and Warrior Tank was... Well, the gap between everyone and Warrior Tanks is astronomical in Classic. Like, Druid is kind of viable, but then, like, you can't use potions in bear form, you can't use any of the engineering gadgets in bear form, so, like, it just had a taunt. And I know this is a Druid who actually did some tanking in Molten Core in early 2005. I gotta head out. Alright, no worries, Grant. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. Keep the content rolling. I'm planning to. You keep watching and keep enjoying it.
Watch way. Show course.
Everyone else who's tuning in and hanging out, I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for stopping by and making my stream a part of your day. I hope you guys have been enjoying the tank content, and we're gonna for sure keep it rolling going into War Within. I am really enjoying making it, and I feel like I'm getting better and more efficient at video editing, which has always been not the easiest thing for me to do, but I feel like I'm in kind of a groove now where I've got a better software than like in previous years when I was trying to make videos, and I'm learning how to use it effectively and just figuring out the process of like how I effectively make videos. So it's been fun. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm still enjoying it a lot, so I'm gonna try to keep it going. I am planning to stream a lot when War Within goes live too, so looking forward to that. I still have a job, so I can't be a full-time streamer. But I'm planning to take a few days off. We'll see, maybe we can do some daytime streams.
Shockwave. Shockwave.
Alright, let's get all these guys rounded up.
Enrage.
So I ask again, chat, what would you guys like to see me main in War Within? I make no promises that I will abide by your suggestions or decisions, but I'm interested to hear what you guys are interested in. Because if I like the content I'm making and you guys are interested in seeing it, like, everybody wins, right? Been fiddling a lot with tanks and trying to solo Stone Vault or thereabouts. So far DH and DK are my best tanks. Monk makes no sense to me. Monk is, like, it plays very differently from all the other tanks, for sure.
Watch your step.
If DK and DH seem intuitive, Monk is going to feel like it's coming out of left field. I've been a Monk enjoyer since they released it. Like, Monk was actually my first character that I leveled to Mop back in the day. I've been playing since vanilla, but I made a Monk on launch day in Mop, and it was my first character up to, I think it was level 90 back then. So I've got a lot of experience with the class. It was weird at first then, and it's still kind of weird now. Look for my DH video. I think that one's going to be next. I'm trying to kind of
Watch your step.
I'm not really trying to stall, but I'm trying to wait on the Paladin video a little bit until they take a tuning pass, or like continue to not make a tuning pass.
Shockwave.
Because I mean, I did it on stream last night, and like it feels real bad compared to some of the other tanks right now. And I think a big part of that is just tuning on its Word of Glory healing, especially when you're healing yourself with it. But I don't know, that kind of remains to be seen how that's going to work out. Yeah, DH should be next. That'll probably be coming out like sometime next weekend. Heard DH is in a weird spot. Heard Pally is awful currently. Yeah, so just for some context, I'm not a Paladin main. Paladin is probably the tank I have the least experience on, and I have only tanked stuff on beta so far, so I haven't like seen other people playing it. What I've heard from other people that I played with is that the same thing, that Paladin is terrible right now, that it's just like super squishy, and that lines up exactly with my experience. DH, yeah, DH definitely feels weird compared to live. Like, you notice the loss of your second charge of sigils for sure, but I think the bigger thing for DH is just that, like, if you're used to playing it in Season 4 right now, you've got like, what, maybe 35% haste, maybe 40% crit, maybe another 25 to 30% verse. Like, you've got really good stats, and that makes the class feel really good. Going from that to like low 20s on those same stats, or like maybe even in the teens on some of them. Oh, I did not have a Dream of Cenarius proc there. That was... you didn't see that, chat. You didn't see that. But yeah, going from like in-game stats to no stats definitely doesn't feel great. And I think DH feels that a lot more than some other specs do. Because like you get a huge chunk of your parry, which is a huge important part of your survivability, from your crit. And like haste helps you get your demon spikes up faster, it helps you build your fury faster and spend it faster, you get souls out faster. Like, it just scales so well with secondaries that having very low secondaries is very noticeable. I don't think that's all that it has wrong with it, but can't believe they patched the macro for that proc. Yeah. Seems like a very troll thing to do. I seem to be better about paying attention to my weak aura for it. I think it'd be nice if they just made it so that like you don't shift out of bear form when you hit regrowth, unless like you just make it not shift you out of bear form baseline. So that way, if you have a proc, you can use it, and if not, you don't die. Or proc your cheat death trinket. Put in a spot with a weird keybind, so I have to click it, makes it more purposeful. Yeah, I have it on Alt 6, which is kind of a weird keybind. I do have an MMO mouse, so it's not that weird. But it's not a button that I usually have an ability on. So I do have to think about it to press it, and I'm not just gonna like randomly fat finger it. Oh, okay. We're gonna knock this way first then.
Special coming. Watch your step.
But yeah, if you're in the spot where like I was looking at the wrong weak aura, because it's all glowy, right? I think I saw the Tooth and Claw weak aura, which is in a similar position on my weak aura bars, and was glowing, and I was like, oh cool, I have a proc, I can use it.
Special coming.
I did not have a proc. Nice thing is the cheat death trinket doesn't care if you're in bear form or not. It's just gonna work either way. So we got build out there.
AOE incoming. Spread.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh no.
Watch
This
your
is not good. That was a good place to incarn, I suppose. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your cooldowns and your threat. I love it.
Spread.
Those distances makes you can't shift out on a normal button press or make an option. Literally, yeah. Yeah, especially like
Watch your step.
it feels okay. So I'll give you a situation where it feels good to be able to do that.
Watch
You're playing
your step.
Resto Druid and you're cat weaving and you need to throw out a regrowth to save somebody. It feels good to be able to shift by just hitting regrowth. But I think a rule that like when you're in bear form, you can't do that. Or at least when you're guardian
Watch your step.
and in bear form you can't do that. Would be really, really good. Just trying to relax, cool it, fall apart in the backyard. Oh, that's good. I love it. That's fair, yeah. I'm a long time Druid player. Druid was my first and only level 60 character in vanilla, so I try to think about the other specs, even though Guardian is definitely my favorite spec of the Druid options these days. Let's just stun all these guys.
Interrupt.
Just started in a Dragonflight. To be fair, like, I have liked Druid and Dragonflight. And there have been times where, like in Season 2, it was probably the best it's ever been in terms of what you could actually do when playing it. Doesn't move back with that Monk Axe. Ah, you're working too hard. Keep it coming. I love it. Let's see, hopefully those guys don't... Good. Let's make sure they don't chain the other pack over there.
Interrupt. Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step.
We're gonna pull these guys into the next pack. Don't spend your time looking for that threat that can't be found. When you look under the Monk and Mage at a glance, and take a glance at his fancy ants and maybe try a few.
Watch your step. Interrupt.
Is it weird to say that Ironfur feels like a worse Ignore Pain, or are they meant to be used differently?
Interrupt.
I think right now
Watch your
it does kind of feel like a worse Ignore Pain. So like Bear and Warrior both have two main defensive abilities you can spin Rage on, right? For Bear you've got Frenzied Regen and Ironfur. And the role that they fill is that Frenzied Regen heals you and Ironfur prevents damage. Right? Or Ironfur is like roughly equivalent to Shield Block in terms of what it does. And Frenzied Regen is kind of like roughly equivalent to Ignore Pain in what it does. Although you want to use them in somewhat different ways. But then if you do like a different comparison, like Ironfur is spammable and Frenzied Regen has a cooldown, and it's vice versa for Warriors. Shield Block has a cooldown and feels really, really strong. And Ignore Pain, I don't know, Ignore Pain's really good right now. But Ignore Pain is like your spammable defensive rage option. I think Ignore Pain has like more of an immediate noticeable impact. Like Ironfur, if you can keep 3 or 4 stacks rolling, it feels incredibly strong. You can't always do that though. But like Ignore Pain, like you hit it and then like at least, unless you're doing crazy big pulls, you're mitigating a decent amount of damage with it. To keep it short, you can solo a boss and play Rabbit Prot Warrior will go night night. I love it.
Charging. Move.
Yeah, I don't know. I think other than being rage spenders that you can kind of spam, I think that's kind of where the similarities end for Ignore Pain versus Iron Fur. Like Iron Fur is more like your shield block, I think. In that regard though, like I don't know, shield block is insane. Shield block is so good.
Pushback income. Shockwave. Shockwave.
For either class, like you have to have Iron Fur up as a bear or you're gonna die. You have to have shield block up as a warrior, you're gonna die. But I think the difference between like rolling one stack of Iron Fur versus just like having your one stack of shield block, Iron Fur definitely doesn't feel like it does as much. Ignore Pain doesn't feel as impactful in the beta.
Shockwave.
Like the shield that you get from it feels a lot smaller. So I don't know. That might get tuned. Might see a little bit of a buff. Maybe it'll scale up with gear because the gear scaling on beta for keys is still pretty low. I'll squish your on the bear, but that makes sense when Warrior's health bar isn't meant to move and realizing that much self-healing. Yeah. Ooh, we got to incur in this bowl apparently.
Pushback incoming. Shockwave.
Yeah, like bear, you're meant to have a decent bit of self-healing. And warrior,
Interrupt.
you're meant to prevent a ton of damage, but then ultimately, at least eventually, be reliant on your healer to live. I don't know, I've been able to live for longer than I feel like I should be able to on my warrior sometimes. Bears are better at plan pulls, utilizing offensive and defensive. That's where we do well enough. Yeah, for sure. Especially with Incarn. Like, Incarn is insane. If you can plan around doing a big pull with Incarn, like, you're just gonna feel great. And then it's got a good mix of short and medium length CDs too. Like Barkskin, 32-second cooldown, and it lasts for 14 seconds. You can have that up like almost 50% of the time. Warrior doesn't really have an equivalent to that.
Shockwave.
Rage of the Sleeper feels really good. I would kind of equate Rage of the Sleeper to like loosely to Avatar. Oh, I might have missed. Dream of Sonaris is so good. Love laying on him the healer so he can heal us and carry a bad group. It is really good. Just don't do what I did earlier and try to use Regrowth when you don't have a proc. I think you have a head around Warrior, but the button blow makes it difficult. It definitely has more buttons
Shockwave.
compared to most. Well, not compared to Monk, but Monk is getting some help on that at least.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Oh, I guess I didn't need to use that. Well, we got the boss down. Ooh, we got pants. Did I need pants? I did not need pants. Maybe someone else needs these pants. Done that many times. Need aura showing you duration. The weak aura I have is pretty good. I just, I misread it. I thought I had it up and I did not because I was looking at the wrong weak aura. I was looking where I expected it to be, but like the weak aura pack I have kind of like updates dynamically. And the Tooth and Claw proc was showing, and it was glowing, and all I looked at was, do I have a glowing button right there? And the answer is yes, so I used it, and I opted out of bear form. Never felt such terror on a tank look like that bear. Yeah, there's nothing quite as scary as when you see your real character model pop up there. Okay, let's go catalyze these gloves that I got from the vault before I forget. It's an awful feeling. You feel real dumb too. Yeah, I got hard carried by having this cheat death trinket from season 3 still on. I got kind of bailed out by by still having some not so great gear. All right, let's catalyze these. Just a cool 29 item level upgrade on the gloves. Something like about DH and DK. Free cheat death. Restorative for DK. Yeah. Heard they're taking them away in War Within. Nope, they're still on the trees. Unless there was an update like today that I didn't see. The DH one is kind of hard to get to. Maybe it'll be easier to get to now that Awakened Sigils has been rest in peaced. Bear does feel vastly tankier in higher gear levels. 5'10 to do 10s on 45. The group is good. I do it pretty chill. Yeah, my bear is like way behind. 476. Trying to slowly build up the item level on this guy. I don't want to go like way too crazy and get burned out before I selected a main, but when I started gearing up my bear this season, he was still mostly in season 2 gear, so he's come a long way. I think it's 437 the first time I logged in on season 4, so we've come a long way, but we still got a long way to go. Oh, the cheat death trinkets, yeah. I did not see one when I was looking through the trinkets on the trinket vendor. Terix, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Really appreciate it. Alright, we got a blood DK key going on here now. DK has a 8 Nelthorus. We're going back to... I got Nelthorus on like almost all my characters. Going back to Nelthorus. Now my DK should have a port over there. Yeah. So we don't have to fly. Agility affects the armor granted to Iron first. It's just 2 stacks is usually needed higher up. Yeah, that's a big difference for sure. Playing 2 and then having extra rage to drop on Maul or be more liberal with your frenzy regions feels pretty good. Alright, on to the Death Knight. This is a real contender for my main. and more within, I gotta say. I haven't touched it yet this week on beta. Maybe I'll do some stuff on it tomorrow night. But I really, really liked playing Sand Lane. Deathbringer was pretty decent too. I feel Immortal on DK, yeah, it's real good. Deal with the blood DK once a month. Sorry to hear that. The haste feels so good. Yeah, the haste from Sand Lane is insane. Like in season 1 heroic dungeon item level, I was getting up to like 88% haste with all the Sand Lane stuff going. That feels really, really good. This Shadow Priest name is Dad Form. That's an invite right there. That is for sure an invite. Oh. Looks like we lost our Warlock. My DK's gear is a little bit behind. It's mostly just like BIS Season 3 stuff at this point. Like I have 489 for Act Trinkets, but they're Season 3. I do have Fear Laugh. Took me 13 kills to get it, but I have it. What a cool name, like Torn named Milk the Cow. Mostly 489 gear. I think I got... What did I get from the vault on this guy? Did I get sockets from the vault? I think I took 2 tokens, or maybe 4 tokens. I took 2 tokens of merit. Wait, that can't be right. Yeah, what did I get from... Oh, there it is. I got a Mythrack tier chest. Which I have to wait until I have 4 set to swap to, because I have full 489 tier. But eventually that'll be nice. I manually pull my own nose hairs with my hand. The pain is immense, but something about it is so rewarding after the fact. That is a vibe, I guess. If that's how you want to live your life, go for it. See if we can get something a little bigger for the healer, since I am still a little undergeared. Undergeared DK can be scary. We only last 30 seconds. My legend. Arise, my champion. I switched DK, didn't feel so slow. I felt like my group was waiting on me half the time. Dude, that's honestly true. Yeah, I'm running like just speed and chance right now. Don't have any speed gear on right now. Feels kind of bad. I did get I have a Signet brand with speed. I think I have some other off piece that got speed on it. Maybe not. Maybe it was a ring. I don't remember. But yeah, speed feels really good on DK. How badass would it be if Blood had Wraith Walk and a reset after killing 5 enemies? That would be so OP. I'd be fine with that, but I don't know if that's a realistic thing to ask for. Alright, maybe we're in a spot where beggars can't be choosers. We just gotta pick someone up. We'll give this guy a shot. What's the worst that could happen? Let's see, get the shaman over here. We'll get our healer summoned here real quick. Ooh, love seeing the challenge remote set on Shaman. That's one of the 2 challenge remote sets I got back in the day, and those shoulders are so sweet. I love them. Who doesn't love having bazooka totems on your shoulders? Okay. I'll put down a feast for everybody. It's late for me. I started imagining crazy stuff. Yeah, I was just doing something on another computer over here. All right, let's see if these guys are ready.
Five, four, three, two, one.
This is just a Nelthorus night. You got this? Thank you. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Shaman totally won't die. This is not the shaman I would be worried about right now.
Shockwave.
Little shaky to start, but you know what? We take our cheat death so we can use it, right? You don't take it so that you don't use it. We'll go into Van Blood. I do wanna get these guys over to the chains.
Watch your step.
We can A-bomb Limb.
Shockwave.
I should have used the chains before I did Fear Life there. Alright, now that we got everybody positioned and settled, should be able to get into a groove here.
Watch your step. Shockwave.
If you never use it, you wasted a talent point. Exactly. Exactly. We're just being big brain gamers over here.
Interrupt. Watch your
Need
step.
cheat death IRL. Oh, maybe you should try to live a little less dangerously then.
Shockwave.
We're gonna go ahead and preemptively IBF here.
Shockwave.
Fear Life,
Watch
Trinket,
your step.
Rage Heart, I guess. Come on, somebody hit that chain. No? Nobody's gonna hit the chain. I feel like this is just kind of classic Blood DK, like
Shockwave.
have exactly as much health as you need and then just Death Strike.
Shockwave.
But I would like to not immediately spike down to 2% health on pull. That'd be nice.
Interrupt. Watch your step.
Alright, maybe someone will use this chain. Maybe I ping it.
Shockwave. Interrupt. Interrupt.
Nope, still nobody can use it. Alright. Somebody the chain, the shaman. Bloody blue raised arms.
Shockwave.
Our paladin says he has to reload. Our priest died, so. Oh, he got hit by the spear. Like I was still there in his corpse. Killed to get out of combat. Well, the good news is with that delay, I can just go ahead and use this chain.
Shockwave.
Maybe. Can please? Oh, someone else grabbed it. Hooray! Someone help with the chains. Oh, that was a bad time to use Fear Laugh. It's okay, it's okay. We're still alive.
Interrupt.
For now.
Watch your step.
What's the eye level for my DK? It's like 492. I'm like basically this season 3 gear with like 1 or 2 small upgrades of season 4 gear. I got kind of burned out on my DK because it took me so long to get the legendary. Just like not getting it week after week kind of sucked out the motivation that I had to really play it last season. So I wanted to change things up heading into season 4.
Watch wave.
18 as well. Well, this is just an 8, not an 18. I guess it's equivalent to 18's last season, though. Do that on my 510. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Gotta get the gear. Like, I really want myth track items because I really like DK is very close to the top of my list, if not the top right now. So, and there's only like what 8 more vaults in Dragonflight or something like that. So I want to get as many myth track pieces as I can on it.
Watch wave.
Eights are great to grind out my gear though. Grind out mythic gear. Yeah, exactly.
Chain pulse.
Why are we not okay?
Watch your step. Shockwave.
I do feel like I
Step.
feel like I play DK better than some of the other tanks, at least. It could just be that I still feel very practiced on it from Season 3. Like, I got all my portals in Season 2 and Season 3 on this guy. I think I pushed up to like 22s in at least some of the dungeons, after I got the legendary, of course.
Shockwave. Interrupt.
I definitely do some sketchy stuff on it, though.
Shockwave.
Ping pong health bar is so great. It would be less of a ping pong effect if I had more than like 1.5 million health for sure. Like, as long as you stay calm and don't waste your runic power and like do an okay job of generating it, you can live a lot on DK. One of my favorite things is seeing these little dwarf legs sprinting around. It looks so goofy. Oh boy.
Watch your step.
Alright, we're gonna do something foolish here.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
I do not have good aggro on this pack.
Shockwave. Watch your step.
Yeah, I have like just enough health to survive that like first big crunch on a fortified key. I should probably get more comfortable with like going into a pull with Vamp Blood up.
Charging. Move.
How do you handle aggro for DK on multiple packs? I feel like I struggle on a limb. It can be a struggle at times. So I try to round everything up as fast as I can, which is obviously very easy to do if you have limb.
Interrupt.
I will drop D&D on the pack that I want to stand on, and then if there's multiple casters, or even if there's just one caster, like grip the casters from the other pack over,
Shockwave.
and once I have everything rounded up, I'll start spamming Blood Boil as much as I can, because it does really, really good AoE threat. But yeah, it's not always easy. You have to be like very quick with your clicks to kind of like reposition everything. We're popping everything for this pack. And yeah, sometimes it just doesn't feel good.
Shockwave.
You gotta keep your D&D down. You gotta keep Blood Boil on cooldown, basically. Because it does huge damage. Like in this pull, it's doing my top damage.
Shockwave.
Also, if you have Tombstone available, that does a ton of damage, which gives you good threat. It can also put you in a sketchy position, because like if you use it and then you don't have any charges of Bone Shield left, you need to get them up immediately. Okay. This pack shouldn't be too bad.
Watch your step.
Yeah, I feel like with any less item level, I would have gone splat so many times in this key.
Watch your step.
Tombstone generates threat. Well, it does huge damage, so... And damage is threat.
Watch your step.
I don't think it has like an extra threat modifier on it, but it's one of your hardest hitting single globals if you're in your D&D and you have at least 5 charges of Bone Shield to spend. Like watch, I used it on that pack and it did, from the Shattering Bones, it did 624k damage. It's going to be near the top of my total damage after this pack goes down. Because that's the thing, right? Like, the 5 Bone Shield charges that it shatters deal damage to the Shattering Bone. Never thought about doing in damage, but I guess the consuming the Bone Shield charges makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, and then it does like, what, triple damage? Yeah, triple damage when you're into your Death and Decay. So like, it's a huge hit of damage, especially on AoE packs. Alright.
AOE incoming. Special coming. Watch your step. AOE incoming.
Move. I have yet to actually kill myself by using the legendary axe, but I have come so close so many times.
Watch your step. AOE incoming. Special coming.
Oh. Do I not? I don't have... Wait, what? I thought I had blacksmithing leveled up on this guy. Nope. Just my warrior. I think I dropped it for alchemy when I was maining this in Season 3. Because imagine not having our 30-minute files.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch Watch your step. Watch your step.
Oof. These guys hit hard when they decide to actually hit you.
Watch your step.
We gotta get our parasol out here. Ow. Wee. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Alright, yeah, let's go in with Vamp Blood up this time. Makes that opening hit feel so much less dangerous. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Interrupt. Interrupt.
Or Rep Pally is just AFK. DC'd. Well, we'll see if he comes back. This isn't beta, so hopefully he does.
Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your step.
I have no idea how long he's been offline. I did notice his stuff was taking longer to die. Oh, he's back in here now. There he is.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Another thing you can kind of rely on, if you lose aggro on like one or two things in a big pull, Death Grip does have a taunt component still for blood. So that mob runs off to try and smack your healer, you Death Grip it back in, and not only do you move it into your AoE, but you also taunt it. So something to keep in mind. Let's see, did these guys trigger the RP? Sweet, they did.
Watch your step.
Good old dad form here. He's a real G. I've been using grip as a mini taunt basically in my fiddling. Yeah. It's very good for that. It doesn't always work as a taunt on bosses, so careful using it there, but then
Charging. Move.
I can't think of any bosses off the top of my head that you can actually move around with it anyway, so.
Shockwave. Charging. Move.
Let's get this guy away from the entrance to the room there. Don't want him charging out and resetting himself.
Shockwave. Charging. Move. Shockwave.
Easy enough. We can get our parasol back out. Let's continue our Yondu impression. Oof.
Push back in.
That yo-yo of a health bar. That is the blood decay. Did I not have death? I'm out of the charges death advance right now. Okay.
Shockwave. Shockwave. Shockwave.
Bone Storm is such a scary button to press. I think it feels less scary than I initially thought it was. You take there's a talent on the blood tree that lets you go up to 12 stacks of Bone Shield, and it does not consume those last 2 stacks. So you will never run out of stacks of Bone Shield with it.
Shockwave.
And that first stack is what gets you all of the armor value. So it feels really scary, but as long as you intentionally like Marrow Rend or use Dancing Rune Weapon or something right after hitting it, like you're not going to get murdered just for pressing it.
Push back.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. I don't speak Russian or read Cyrillic, and I don't know what it is exactly you're saying.
Interrupt.
I don't want to just like read something in another language that might get me in trouble if I don't know what it is. So apologies, but I'm an English only person. You thought I was Russian? I mean, I definitely have that European look about me. Yeah, I'm not Russian though. Sorry, friend. You're welcome here. I just, if you only speak Russian, I won't be able to communicate with you. Apologies.
Shockwave.
But all are welcome in my stream.
Interrupt. Shockwave. Shockwave.
It's Bengali. Interesting. I don't know the difference. I'm sorry. I have no Eastern European ancestry. I mean, maybe I do in ancient history, but like, as far as we know, like from genealogical research that my grandmas did, were basically like everything north of France and west of Germany.
Shockwave.
Oh, I need to get a gold pile. Why are they all the way over here? Go ahead and grab one for the next round.
Watch your step.
Pressing Dancing Rune Weapon right before Bone Storm works wonders. Give the stacks right back, it seems. That is, yeah. I mean, it does good damage too, so like that feels kind of good. And you do get decent self-healing out of it too. We did it! I got a spark. At least on the War Within right now. Alright, I think that's the last retail character I need to do a key on. My poor paladin is not gonna get anything. Need boots. Let's see if this guy needs these boots, because they would surely be an upgrade over my 49 boots from last season. I don't think you saw my message. We can at least go upgrade Fearlath. Should have enough crests to do that right now. Unless I'm blocked by Worm's Crest. I might still be blocked by Worm's Crest. Which would be a little bit disappointing. I think it's at 509, so I think I do have 2 more Worm's Crest upgrades before I can do it, and I have a whopping total of 6 Worm's Crest right now. Yeah. Oh well, we'll get those eventually. I think that is gonna do it for me on stream tonight, though. I'm planning to stream tomorrow night, so I will see you guys then. Enjoy the videos. I'm gonna keep putting out content as much as I'm able to, and as long as I continue to have ideas on stuff to do. I want to do more testing on Demon Hunter before I make that video, but that should be coming probably early next weekend at the latest. And then Paladin, if they don't make any changes to Paladin this week, I might just go ahead and work on that video. But I'm hoping that they will give it some buffs and I can actually get a feel for how it looks when you're doing so much challenging content. Good stuff. Enjoyed hanging out. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. I've had a great time hanging out with you all on stream the last few days and few weeks, and yeah, I'm going to continue to do it because I'm really enjoying it right now. So hope you guys have a good one, and take care. Bye.